So welcome. I'm here today with Clarkston Hines with PMI, and he's going to be talking to us about property management. And I'm excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and so we're going to be asking you a few questions just about the concept of property management. And when it's all done, we want to make sure that you like it and share it and tell other people about it. And because there's some really good information here today. And I'm excited to have you as a fellow realtor, because you are a realtor yourself, because I had different situations come up where I would need to refer people for a property manager, and was also a little nervous about just doing it to another realtor to get the business back. But first, give us a little talk about what is property management.
So property management is the whole idea of professionally managing one's property.
Okay.
Now in North Carolina, there's two types of people who can conduct property management.
Okay.
One would be the owner of his or her own investment property or house or whatever you want to call it. Legally, that person is able and to manage their own property.
Okay.
If it's anyone else, then it has to be a licensed real estate broker in North Carolina. And property management really falls under two big buckets. One is compliance, compliance with fair housing laws and other things that are important to take into account when you're considering renters. And then the other is profitability. What are the ways to maximize return on investment for that particular piece of property? And a property manager concentrates on both of those areas, compliance and return on investment.
One of the things that I think is really important if you're doing that is you vet the renters. You know, an owner struggles with that. How do they vet it? How do they find out their credit report or their financials or their criminal background or whatever? But that's another piece of property management, right?
A very important piece. It's extremely important to know whom you're going to be bringing into perhaps the most, the biggest investment you have, and that's your property, your house, or something of that nature. So a good property manager will vet in a variety of different ways. For me, not only do I conduct a criminal history check, but I also do a credit check. But I also check eviction history, and usually
I wondered about that.
Usually a lot of property managers don't check eviction, or they don't know how to.
Sure.
But that's an important component, that someone could have a clean, clean credit check. They could, obviously not be a criminal, but they could be on some eviction list from years ago. So it's important to vet those folks. I want to add, though, another important aspect to vet is actually the property itself. And that is, what do I need to do to make my house or condo or townhouse really attractive to people who are looking to rent. And that's also an important thing that a property manager should look at, of letting their client, their owner, know that, hey, if we do these two things or three things, then you could perhaps earn more money, more rent. And so that's another item that's important to vet.
I think that's an important item for the owner of the property.
Yes.
Because if you can show me a way to get a better return,
yes,
and you're putting people in that are going to pay their rent on time and get it to me properly, you're worth your weight in gold, because I can just let go. And you also deal with the issues like the toilet not working and stuff like that as well, right?
Correct, definitely. Preventative maintenance is key. One of the things that I recommend to my owners when they buy investment property is, hey, let's check the roof. It's the same thing that you do for your clients. Let's check the roof. Let's check the HVAC system. Okay. And in addition to that, one of the requirements I have in my lease is for the tenant to change the air filters, because that all goes together to ensuring that the HVAC system is working properly, and you will mitigate any damage and problems. So checking out the property, checking out the condition of it, and doing some things proactively is key.
So what territory do you normally work? What's important to you as far as your circle of business?
Well, right now, I'm pretty much all over Metro Charlotte.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm based in the Lake Norman area from an office standpoint, but I have a property I manage in Indian Trail, and I have a couple in Matthews. I'm up in Morrisville, over in Concord, and over in Gastonia. So right now, it's metropolitan Charlotte.
And you mentioned to me something about where some of your investors coming from.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's amazing. I don't know what it is about the West Coast, but the majority of my investors I work with are in California, are in Arizona, are in Alaska. One of my clients is international. It's actually a service person stationed in Japan.
Wow.
So they're all over the place, and they really are attracted to North Carolina and the Charlotte area in particular.
Well, I know that we have, I just heard the stat recently, 129 people moving here on a daily basis to the Charlotte metro area, and someone was just talking about rentals are just exploding. They can't keep up with the rental properties. So the same thing with the homes. There's a limited product out here, but it's a popular area to move to. So one of the things I wanted to touch on, though, as being a realtor, I'm sure a lot of your clients are realtors, either referring you people over, but a lot of agents want to manage and do property management themselves and kind of wear both hats. What's your thought on that? I mean, I personally would never do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to each their own.
Right.
However, knowing what I know as a property manager, to me it's really important to understand your focus. And for you, it's sales.
Right.
It's listings and buying, being a buyer's agent. For me, I focus on property management. So in doing so, I think it's important you find out what your niche is and what you're good at. And a lot of people don't fully understand the depth of a property manager, the maintenance calls and the responsibilities.
To me, it's more the risk of what I don't know that I don't know.
Well, correct.
And the danger I'm putting my license in.
Well, that's true, because, trust accounts,
Yes.
compliance in terms of fair housing laws, and vetting applicants and things of that nature. It's stuff you need to be more cognizant of as a property manager, that if you're not focusing in on that area, it could come back to bite you.
Right. And I know there's obviously fees associated with it, but I think if anyone looks at a good business decision of they're buying a piece of property and they're going to rent it out, it makes sense to hire a professional to do it, to guarantee that I'm going to get top dollar. I'm also going to get a quality person that's going to come in, pay the bills, that I can count on the service that I'm hiring to do that, to deal with all the issues with the property. And if there's a problem with the renter for any reason, that you're also going to be responsible for getting that person out.
Correct.
Right?
No doubt about it. And we're taught as a realtor to do the best thing for our client, okay, and to provide the best service for our client.
Right.
And so for me, if my concentration was as a realtor was on sales and not property management, I would have to wonder if me acting as a property manager for a client, because maybe I don't want to lose the business, or I don't want to bring someone else in. I'm not certain if that's taking the best care of your client. And besides, I know that I offer very generous referral fees, and then I have a guarantee.
That's my favorite part.
I have a guarantee
Tell us.
that your client remains your client.
Yes.
So if you refer a client to me for property management, and that client wants to buy another investment property, then I hand them back to you.
See, that's
so you
rare.
can have that sell. in a similar thing. And I even go farther than that, Kathy. Refer to me a client, and I'm managing that property for your client, and a tenant in that property wants to buy a house, then I refer that tenant back to you as well.
Wow.
So it's definitely a win-win situation.
That is a win-win. I love that piece of it. And that's one of the things when you first came to our B&I group, which is where we know each other from, I was really looking, if we brought in a property manager, that you didn't sell real estate or were in competition with me, because I don't want someone taking my business. If I refer it to you, I want to know that I'm going to get that client back, which is a big deal. And I think that probably a lot of realtors could be your clients in a sense, because they're going to send you referrals because they don't do the rental business and they don't want that piece of it. Yet it's a piece of their business and they run into it all the time. So why not have someone that could be a referral partner where you could have a win-win opportunity, is how I saw it.
And I'll go beyond that, Kathy. I mean, basically, you could even have in your brokerage a property management division in which you're not doing the work, but you're benefiting from in two ways. You're earning a referral fee for you utilizing a external property manager, and again, your client is being taken care of.
Oh, so what you're saying is my little business has its property management division because I have you as a referral partner, so I can promote it that way.
Exactly.
Oh, see, that was good. I like that.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you'd like to share with us that top of mind?
Well, you mentioned, the industry we're in. It's very competitive. There's not a whole lot of inventory from a sales standpoint. Listings are tough. You have more buyers than listings. And another item that adds to that is the fact that we're in one of the most popular cities in the country when it comes to housing. Fortune magazine ranks North Carolina as the best state in the country for business.
Wow.
In 2018.
I didn't know that.
Charlotte is ranked in the top 20 cities for growth in population, but also for housing investments. So when you add all of that in, this is a perfect time to be in the real estate business. There are lots of buyers that need help. It's competitive, but there are a lot of listings out there. And the way I look at it, because the rental market has grown so much. And in fact, in the decade between 2006 and 2016, the number of households who became homeowners declined by 1 million, but the number of households who rented, increased by 7 million.
That's because we had our whole recession right in that 2007 belt.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned this morning, there are more renters in the U.S. than at any time since 1965.
Wow.
So property management in some form or fashion is extremely important, and it's really key to have a good property management company that you can rely on, that you know will take really good care of your client.
Well, for me, I personally believe to my fellow realtors that having a good property manager that you can have a collaboration with is really critical, because you're going to have it in your business. You're going to run into, they're either already renting right now and they're going to get out of that and buy, or they have a home that they couldn't sell for some reason and they decided that they're going to rent it, that was a lot in the 2007 to 2008 to 2010. But you're going to run into different people who say, well, we've got some extra money, we're going to buy a house, and but I don't know what to do with it. You need an expert to be able to go to, and if that's not your specialty, don't do it. That's how I feel. Just be sound business. So really encourage you to check out Clarkston Hines with PMI, and I highly, my testimonies for you are just off the chart, because I just believe in who your character is, trust you, and completely would recommend you to fellow agents as well as individuals doing going to do their own investment properties.
Well, thank you so much, Kathy. I really appreciate it.
Happy to do it.